Were you, or were you not, on a gay cruise?
No, you're 120% dick pic.
Everybody that age, they're sperminator.
Yeah.
We don't care about anything else. We're walking hard on looking for a hole.
That's. I have to say you're right on that one. Oh, my God.
A stiff breeze comes through the room, and you return the favor.
Got her in. Oh. Somewhere on the outside of this building, there is a hole where squirrels come in.
Better than a hole where dicks come in.
Yeah, better than that.
Going down the stairs to wash the laundry. What the hell? Shh. Pizza. Stop! Stop it now! I order you to stop! I'm still touching myself.
Yeah!
All young bitches want to do is pop pills, smoke weed, get drunk, lay around, suck dick, eat hot Cheetos, charge they phone, get a sew and weave, twerk, be bisexual, eat McDonald's, wash they pussy in the sink, lie, take selfies, and talk shit through Wi-Fi because they phone never on.
I think washing they pussy in the sink is my favorite part. The Vietnamese trade in dongs. Figuratively and literally, I'm sure.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
I did decide to look it up. 500,000 dongs is a good night for Pop's ex.
Like most women, he's an emotional thinker.
Good God.
I mean, that's part of the problem we're having now in our society is we have a bunch of emotional thinkers that want the world to, to fall in line with their emotions. That's not... look, reality doesn't give a shit about emotions.
It's my lived truth. Fuck your lived truth.
No, it's not. It's your perspective.
Kiss my ass.
Literally like, hey, Sergeant Pop, you got to turn your bear suit. I'm like, over my dead body. No. Just give me a statement of charges. Yeah. You're never getting this back. Yeah. You can suck it.
I'm going to wear this with my Russian coat.
you will bury me in this. Hey! Why you gotta fucking be like that, man?
Because I'm an asshole, and I learned from the best. I'm sitting across from him, and I'm pointing at you with all four fingers.
All right, first of all, the Russian jacket is World War II surplus.
I'll send you a picture of it, Sarge.
Yeah. Okay. I
got you standing wearing it with holding two giant buckets like you just collected all the chum from behind the dump dumpster at the bar, and you're going to go home and make ice cream out of it.
All right, you savages. Terrence Pop here with another episode of Grunt Speak that actually is live from the lair. Ha, ha, ha. All right. If you guys been watching this show for any time, you know I'm all about red pill content, MGTOW content, and men's rights. And I have watched over, the past 40 years of my life, people get divorced and get absolutely train wrecked. And it's even worse for the military. I have watched guys get divorced, lose their careers, have to get out of the service to chase their children. Some of these guys, they get VA disability, and the courts across this country force these guys to relinquish their VA disability, which is specifically just for them under federal guidelines and laws, but they're ignored at the state level on the regular. And we have some guests here today that are going to talk about a case that they have got before the Supreme Court that could literally change the scope and the dynamics of this battle at a fundamental level, meaning a lot of these judges who force these guys to give up their disability quite literally might wind up getting sued personally for this, because this is a big especially with the fact we have so many men who are homeless. Many of them are veterans. And while I was doing my time living out of my car, because technically I was homeless as well, I talked to a lot of guys who were so far behind in child support, they will never get out from under that for the rest of their days. All right, Battle Dwarf, come on in.
Let's bring the whole gang in. Look, everybody, we brought our own menagerie. So
Yep.
we've got Nate, Brandon, Bob, and Don. Brandon, Bob, and Don, they were on one of the previous shows with us. They are bringing a Supreme Court case to bear this evening. Nate is also joining us. He lives up around Brandon. Nate, why don't you fill us in on your details real fast? Give us a sketch.
Okay, so the nuts and bolts. Ex-wife got arrested for domestic violence. Filed emergency orders. Court gave the curls to her, which is against Michigan's own standard operating procedures when dealing with an abusive spouse. Since
Wait,
then,
she attacked you and she got custody.
yes, correct. And
Good
she
time.
for it. Since then, I've been in and out of the court system between family court and her sentencing court at least 15 to 20 times over the past year plus. I just got out of court today again. Since then, they hit me with arrears from the time I filed custody orders, which was in August. I had a court hearing in November, so it took them 2 months to even get me in. I didn't even get custody orders that were signed until April. And from that point on, I managed to rack up, just over $16,000 in arrears, child support, which I didn't even know what my amount I was supposed to pay until April.
Hold up a minute. I know you don't know me very well. I've been doing paralegal work and legal work for about 17 years. They are charging you ex post facto. If you didn't even have charges and they're backdating it prior to the charges, you can't do that.
Yeah,
That's called post facto.
Well, we brought that up. Me and my attorney brought that up in May when I was supposed to have my divorce finalization hearing. And the judge said, unless you can show me case law, I can't do anything about it. And mind you, she kept my kids from me for 9 months, no contact. I
I'll find
wasn't
your
allowed to
fucking
see
case
them.
law.
I wasn't allowed to see them. I wasn't allowed to talk to them. She blocked me from calling the home phone within a week because I just call and want to talk to my daughters, because why would I want to say anything to her? She has a no contact order put on her by the state. It's just real messy. And then they gave her 80% custody off the get, even though she unilaterally moved them schools without my knowledge. Gave her full custody. I got 3 weekends out of the month. I just got 50-50 after a very hard fought battle.
Jesus Christmas.
Fucking A.
Tooth and nail, nothing but grit, nothing but, tactical and strategic on my part, because if not, it couldn't have turned out that way. And just this last month, she got mad at me and decided to put me back on 50, back to weekends only, against court order. And I just got out of court today, which was a waste of my time and a waste of my attorney's time. The judge refused to sign my divorce judgment. He had it on his desk since July. It just got signed today and certified.
All right. I highly advise you to file a formal complaint against the judge with the state. and then do a FOIA request for all cases, all case numbers that this judge has had in front of him while he was on the seat. And then you can actually track the people down who he fucked over or who did not get a good outcome in court, and have them all file formal complaints against the judge with the state. And it's all fun and games if it's 5 or 6 of them. When you start getting up there in the 20s, 50s, 100s, people will start to pay attention.
So on the judge thing, Nate, I can show you how the Court of the Judiciary works. Every state has one. And what it is there exists in each state a court that reviews judges for bad conduct. They just don't make it public because they don't want the public to go all over these judges who are behaving badly. But I can show you where Michigan's is.
Okay. You can easily bring up the fact that, what is it? You were supposed to get, well, first the de facto child support thing. That's one. 2, are they going after your disability as well?
Yeah, so that's how it all started out, right? So in August, I ended up getting a job at a local airfield working armed security. And what they ended up doing was taking that income, as well as my Social Security, as well as my disability, and factored that all into the payment. So I was slotted to pay roughly $2,000 a month, which again, I didn't know about until January, and it didn't even become a true order until April 1st.
Okay, so everything before April 1st, you have a case to get that taken off.
Yeah, that's ex post facto. Yep.
Yes.
And the thing that bothers me the most, I'm not saying I didn't get a good judgment. I mean, I got the house, I got the vehicles, she has to pay me, I got everything I asked for and then some, right? My biggest thing that bothered me is the fact that here's this abusive person, right? And she gets full custody. I mean, I had police reports. She was in jail. She got sentenced in January. I went and had to do a victim's impact statement for that in front of a whole court and talk about, really kind of traumatizing in the way of like, I'm a 6'1", 260-pound guy who lifts all the time. And I got whooped on by this little girl who's 5'4", 120 pounds. You know what I mean?
That's another thing you can put in your complaint against the judge.
Just to try and prove that I'm not a bad guy just because I have PTSD, right? Like this has been going on for eons.
So on the giving her custody, let me tell you what's going on there. It's called Title 40 funding, and the family courts, which aren't even proper courts, they're administrative courts. What they do is for every dollar they can bleed out of you, the federal government gives them $1 or more. Apparently, we were discussing this before the show. And therefore, you are a profit center for them. They would not charge her child support because what can she give them? How much does she make?
She just quit her job.
Yeah, she was probably told to by her attorney, to be completely honest.
I have an
I've
attorney.
seen that done before. Oh,
yeah.
Well, I guarantee you, she's got somebody from the family court sitting behind her, whispering in her ear.
Oh,
I've seen that happen.
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
More than one. So that's why you're getting hit. You have the money. You're the cash cow. They're exploiting you.
Yeah. I found that out through my own research. Endless nights of just literally Googling every possible scenario, every outcome.
Also, Nate, okay, how much were you getting in Social Security? Let's reassemble this here.
All right, with my daughters on the case, I get roughly $1,700 a month.
$1,700 a month.
Being married, my VA is around $4,200.
$4,200. Okay.
And then when I was working at the airfield, my take home was anywhere from.
All right. So all right. So did you have this job when you got divorced? Or
I went and got it just because I couldn't stand being in my house anymore. I did it to get busy. Like I said, before the show, I sold my tractor, all my animals, my sawmill, because I was homesteading for like 14 years, and then need to do that anymore. You know, I can't sit in these four walls, so I went and did that to get busy.
No, I totally get it. I'm just trying to figure out where they came up with this $2,000 a month bullshit.
I'm thinking they came up with it because they counted all of it as taxable income. That's my assumption.
Well, Pop, like I was telling you before, okay, so not to cut you off, Nate, but I want to reiterate some things. I want to jump on what you were saying. So they take my 50% of my CRSC, combat related service connected pay. I got wounded in Iraq, this and that. My VA, my Social Security. They even wanted to go after my wife's income because we're married. Now that happens too. And I could see Bob pointing. That happens too. Now, we're in excess of almost $2,000 a month. And I told you this before on the show and all the viewers. I'm 12 minutes away from my kids. They're here all the time. So when the judge says, hey, we're going to take your VA in consideration because we can do that, I said, well, no, you can't. He goes, well, we can't get to it. And he said this in the courtroom. We can't get to it. You're right, Mr. Trudell. We can't garnish it. We can't get to it, but I'm going to make you pay it anyway. So slapped a void order on it. And that is the biggest thing I think that's happening with our veterans right now that are locked up in the courtroom because you have one judge. There's no jury. There's no nothing. He's the one that goes, this is what's going to happen. You're not allowed to video. You're not allowed to record. They can, but you can't.
Yeah, that's not a lawful order. You don't have to obey that.
Exactly. But he goes, well, I'm going to make you pay it anyway. It's out of pocket. And Nate and I are in excess. We live in the same county. We're 12 minutes away from our kids, and we're paying $2,000 a month, gentlemen. What is going on? You tell me.
Well, we're trying to get to the bottom of that
4D.
here.
I just told you, Title 4D. Your income. You are a cash cow. They have hooked your cock up to the milking machine, and they are draining you.
And veterans are easy to pray because the money is guaranteed.
I said at the beginning of the show that we should try to refrain from such language. I apologize. I'm really torqued right now.
All right, stand by. Brandon,
Yeah.
tell us your story real quick.
Quickly, pretty much the same. Got divorced 2019. What can I get from you? The ex-wife. Okay. I didn't even know this was going to happen. We decided, all right, we can do this out of court. Next thing you know, I get not a summons and complaint, but I get something from the front of the court saying you have to come in for this smile class and all this. My ex-wife didn't even go to DHS to get on assistance. The friend of the court put her on it.
Yes.
Wow.
So there was no, well, I'm going to go do this. There's no transparency in that aspect. They put her on it. Once you're in it, you're in it.
No, I know.
So that's pretty much what happened to me. And then, we're going through the whole court system and they're saying, all right, I want all of your income. I said, well, I don't have any income. Well, what do you have? I said, well, I have Social Security, CRSC, and I have some VA. Well, we need it all. So they collectively took this thing and just went, we're going to add this whole thing up to no job. So she doesn't have a job compared to all of this compensation for my injuries. So she's like, well, it is what it is. That's just the way we do things. We've been doing this a long time, Mr. Trudell. We know what we're doing. Okay, this is the caseworker. I don't want to drop names, but this is the caseworker here in Ogama County. Nate, you should.
Up name.
All right, Brandon, hold right there. Bob, tell us your story.
Got out of the Navy because of disability. Ended up going through a horrible divorce. Technically, I was married 9 years, 6 years active, 3 years divorce. And her attorney ran up a huge bill to screw me over. My VA claim was still pending on appeal. So they said that I didn't actually have any disability, and I didn't have my other things going. So pretty much I was just twisting in the wind, homeless and dealing with shit. So the judge imputed income against me and set a child support order. And I've told part of the story before. Before the judge even said that, the state, my ex-wife had gone on welfare. So the state Office of Child Support Enforcement invented their own version of a child support order and never delivered a copy to me. They just said, we haven't. And they tried to get into my apartment and take my things to sell. And there was I confronted and I asked, isn't there something in the Constitution that says you have to have a piece of paper giving you authority to do that? And I was lucky that the sheriff told the support officer to go and get that. That was in 1991. I did not see my children from September of 1991 until May of 2007.
Wow.
In the meantime, I went through another relationship, had another child, went through another breakup. She went on welfare, and they threw me under the bus. That was in 99, 2000 timeframe. So the state of Washington employees decided that they wanted to be aware of the fact that I had Social Security, disability, and veteran benefits. Now, the veteran benefits were still not that much because the VA had not.
Stand by real quick. Stand by. Who in the background is fidgeting around? Because I can hear it.
Clickety click.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stop.
don't know.
All right, continue on, Bob.
So the state of Washington Office of Child Support Enforcement said, well, we calculated you're up to date here in the child support order, and it's about $68,000 in arrears.
Wow.
To which they said, we're going to take half of your disability benefits to pay to repay the state. And I said, you can't do that. It's illegal. And they said, but we're going to do it because it's legal. And shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not a lawyer. Have a nice day. And I made a stink. I went to congressman. I went to the governor. I went to different people. And I said, hey, somebody needs to, enforce the law, due process of law. Come on, pay attention. And I got the runaround. They all sent me back to the same criminals who did this. So when I demanded that they repay me the $10,000 that they stole from me, the state of Washington took half of my Social Security by garnishment, leaving me with about $600 a month total to live on. Consequently, I ended up homeless. I went through a lot of difficulty because of that. And then when I finally got them to stop, I said, look, it's illegal. What you're doing is fraud. And they finally stopped in 2002. And I said, so give me back the 10 grand you took from me. And they said, well, that's child support. And I said, no, it's not. That's mine. I said, my ex-wife got paid from 92 up to the thing. I said, well, wait a minute. She didn't get all that money over those years. She got a lump sum payment in 1999, $20,000 and change. So that counts as 1 month's payment. But we're going to say she got a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and do this and do that and flip the numbers around, and we're not going to give you any money back. So they had taken $10,000 from me, which compared to a lot of people is small chump change. But the fact is, for me, that was a hell of a lot of money, because that is why I ended up homeless. And I went back and I asked everybody for help. Talked to the congressman, talked to the governor, talked to lawyers. Every lawyer I talked to said the same thing. You're an idiot for joining the military. You're an idiot for having more children you could ever afford. And you're an idiot for getting behind on your child support. Tough nuggies. And I said, wait, just a minute. The law says that these things can't be touched. They said, oh, Rose versus Rose. And they shoved it in my face. And I didn't know what else to do. So I backed off. Later on in 2012, I pointed out that disability discrimination is something we experience in this process. And I published on that. And it was a very respectful, very polite report on that subject. That's on my website. And then I went through a couple more episodes of my own health problems and didn't really think about it till I was volunteering, helping veterans, just kind of going to the different groups and hanging out, was doing a homeless veterans event. And one of the guys that I'd helped before came up, and I found out he'd been living in his car in the state park because he had Social Security and VA benefits, and went through a horrible divorce. And they gave away half of his VA and half of his Social Security as alimony. And I said, that's illegal. And he said, yeah, but I don't know how to explain it to them. Well, the thing is, it doesn't matter what you explain to the state court. They don't care. They're financially motivated to continue converting your benefits into their paycheck.
Correct.
They say it's child support, but it's not. It's actually repayment of the state for the welfare money that the ex is living on. So they tell them, quit your job, take the kids, go on welfare. You'll be fine. You'll get lots of money. But that's not really where the money goes. The money they're taking from us is going into the state revenue under Title 4D.
Correct.
And this is where I want to get to. I want to get off of my story real quick. 1975, Congress said the number of children on welfare went up exponentially from 1961 to 1973. And a huge part of this was affluent men, doctors, lawyers, and whatnot, who were absconding on their children and basically taking care of child support or alimony. So Congress passed a law to lower the cost of welfare on the taxpayer, but more importantly, to coerce men into, I want to say, the language is that basically to punish men for having children on welfare, to use the collection system to discourage men from abandoning their children. It was written to punish men for having children on welfare. And this became the cash cow that the states live on because they just look at it as an opportunity. And as pointed out earlier, for every dollar that the state puts out in welfare payments, whether it's medical or dental or childcare, the state gets $7 to $10 back from the federal government as funding for the welfare system to cover their overhead, their employee costs, building costs, all of the expenses involved in running this system. So for every dollar they put out, they get that money. But when they come after the deadbeat dads, it's hard to get money out of a deadbeat, a drug addict, a dumbass, or a dead guy. They look at veterans and they say, hey, these guys have all this federal money coming in. We're going to take it. So here's a funny part. When they created this law in 1975 and 1976, 1977, they also created a point called Section 662. And in that part, it said, veteran benefits for compensation and pension are exempt from Title 4D, unless you're a retiree who's exchanged benefit or exchanged retired pay for VA benefits. So they said, veteran benefits have always been exempt. Anyways, I pointed that out and I got yelled at and everybody's been, just pushing me around. So I just started getting grumpy and published it on the internet and started asking the questions. And guess what? A few veterans have called me back and said, hey, now what do we do? We see that. What do we do? So that's why I'm here.
All right, man. Let's get Don on here and let's get him unmuted.
All right. Okay. Now my story is kind of convoluted, but I'm going to try and keep it short because I explained this before. I spent 36 years in the Marine Corps Reserve, was in 14 and a half years before I got married. I was a gunnery sergeant in E7. And I was married 16 years. And then 11 years ago, I went through my divorce and went to court. My ex-wife said, oh, yeah, I want part of your retirement, too. And I was like, what? And my attorney said, yeah. And I said, no. And she said, yeah, the judge is going to give it to her anyway. I said, you're kidding me. I didn't know that was a thing. Nobody ever told me. I never got any briefing from anybody saying that it could be divided, any of that crap. So we went through this long.
It can't.
What's that?
It can't. They did it anyway. I realized that, but continue.
But never in my time in the Marine Corps did anybody tell me about this law, the Former Spouses Protection Act that was passed in 1982, 2 years before I joined. And so they required that not only did they assign child support, my ex was living with her parents 6 miles away from my house with the kids. Here it is 11 years later. She still doesn't work. She's 53. I'm 60. She still doesn't have a job. Complete loser. And they ordered me to pay disability. Now, I was unemployed at the time. I had spent several years on active duty, but I was unemployed and looking for work. And the court forced me to go to work. So I had to go to work. The only job I could find was working in a warehouse. It exacerbated my injuries. Took her back to court, went back to court, and they increased my child support by 79%. Child support and alimony.
Wow.
Not only that,
79%.
yeah, I was already paying $2,000 a month.
Did they give a justification for this?
Nope.
Of course not.
My attorney, I didn't realize what a scumbag he was at the time, but he says, well, if you go in front of the judge, he's going to raise it. Because I told him, I said, no, man, I'm already struggling. So they were taking my VA disability on top of my income, and then I was doing extra work for, Uber, DoorDash, and stuff like that, and they were taking that too. Every little bit that I tried to make up, they went to take. And so then also they appointed a third-party attorney to divide my retirement. And this guy was demanding things of me that I didn't have, information I didn't have, based on my service, the points in the reserve, you earn points. And he wouldn't tell me how he wanted it or in what format. So he just recommended to the judge that, well, she's just going to get 50% of his entire 36 years. Now, I was a gunnery sergeant, E7, when we got married, but I was a W4 when we divorced, or before we divorced. I was actually a W3 and then retired as a W4 5 years later. And the judge just said, okay, we're going to give her 36% of his, or 50% of his entire 36 years. No due process, nothing. I wasn't even in the courtroom, didn't have any say in it. And,
Wow.
And then they
Wait, 50% of 36 years, as in they backdated it for your entire military career, and you were to give her 50% of that?
Yep.
That is crazy.
Before and
What
after.
in the ass?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Not only is it a violation of state law, it's a violation of federal law, all kinds of things. But in the order, there's an indemnification clause that says if I elect CRSE, combat related special compensation, then I have to indemnify her for any portion that is reduced due to that, which is a violation of Title 10, Section 1408, because the only thing that's divisible is disposable retired pay. So, long story short, we now have a case in front of the Supreme Court. I filed it. Bob did a lot of the heavy lifting, did a lot of research on it, and it's in front of the Supreme Court right now, distributed for conference on October 10th.
All right. So we got everyone's story on board. Let's.
I tried to make it the Reader's Digest condensed version, but it's much more convoluted than that.
It is very
Good job,
convoluted. Before we get there, I want to tell a little story about something that I managed to pull off somehow when I went through my custody. So my ex-wife mauled me. I'm not going to go into the details here, but when we got to court and when her attorney came and put their child support paperwork in front of me, I went through it, and I had already been doing research for a couple of years by that point, 2.5 years. And I just went, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? I took a ruler and a pen, and I lined through all of the payment instructions and initialed it and dated it. And then I signed that paperwork. And then I handed it back to her attorney, who took it, flipped to the end, and signed it, and handed it to the judge. And the judge looked through it and stamped it. And then my ex-wife's attorney looked at what I had done and lost her shit. And the judge said, he just handed it to you. I watched you take it from his hand. So I ended up not having to actually pay any child support. I had already been destroyed anyway. It took everything I had just to get to that point. I lost something like $140,000 in the space of 2 years. in investments and savings and all of that stuff. But I managed to get out of it, and that was Pierce County, Washington.
Yep.
Wow.
The judge watched me hand it to her, watched her sign it, and then the judge looked through it and stamped it, and then her attorney left. So if you play dirty, sometimes it works.
That's why I started Administrative Violence, Divorce, and Custody Edition.
Administrative.
I had known what I knew now what I knew 11 years ago, what I know now, I'd have been in much better shape.
Oh.
I was fortunate enough that I went into that whole mess as already a senior intelligence analyst. So I understood how to assess my enemy and look at everything. But yeah, that actually worked. So let's talk about the case some. This is the actual case. What have we got, Don? What are we looking at?
So this is it's a petition for writ of certiorari. We're asking the court to answer these three questions, whether the states, and you scroll down, you'll see the questions.
Question one presented.
Beautiful. Look at that.
Whether the states are bound by the Former Spousal Protection Act, whether they're bound by the Veterans Judicial Review Act, and then whether or not they're liable for their violations of violating Titles 10 and 38.
That's the big one right there.
Big one.
That's
right there.
the big one. And I'll tell you why. If this gets decided in your favor on that point alone,
They're done.
judges will stop pulling this nonsense because now they're liable. Personally, it becomes personal.
That's the idea.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Here's my idea. Okay. If that actually goes in your favor, which in my opinion, from what I've seen, you actually have a decent chance at it.
Oh, yeah.
We can actually see if we can get a nationwide movement to go after all of the judges that have ever put an order in the past, 7 years against a disabled veteran, and go after these judges personally.
Absolutely.
That's our goal.
Yep.
Yes.
But you know what? Remember this. The judges are doing what they're conditioned to do. They're following the leader. They do not want to admit 35 years of predatory corruption and profiteering because that would expose, they don't want to admit the lack of jurisdiction because that would expose them personally as well as all of their colleagues, because the lawyers who are profiteering on these families are real scumbags, and some of them need to be disbarred and thrown out of the country. But the real dirty birds in this are the state employees who are using this system, Title 4D, to pad their paychecks by committing the predatory embezzlement of these federal funds. From the beginning of Title 4D, veteran benefits have been exempt, except for a couple of years, retirees could be garnished. Regular veterans could not. And when we got up to 1987, the Rose versus Rose case, everybody says that the decision in Rose made it clear that states have control of those benefits, just like regular income. It's part of Title 4D. And even if they can't garnish it directly because 659 didn't allow them to just garnish through the VA, the state could still take that as income and split it up and divide it. The point is, when Congress came along and read that, the Rose decision actually said that there was an imaginary exception to the anti-garnishment statute, the one that said they can't take veteran benefits by assignment, they can't garnish, they can't put them in jail, they can't take that money anyway under any legal or equitable process, whatever.
Now, let's throw Rose up here real quick so people can see what we're talking about. It's 41 U.S. 619. This case was decided in 1987. The appellant, a totally disabled veteran whose main source of income is federal veterans benefits, was held in contempt by the state trial court for failure to pay child support, the amount of which had been fixed by the court after considering appellant's benefits to be income under a Tennessee statute. That right there, the Tennessee statute, they can't override federal law. The state court Appeals affirmed, rejecting the appellant's contention that the Veterans Administration had exclusive jurisdiction to specify payments of child support from the disability benefits it provides. That is correct, of course. The court determined that Congress intended disability benefits to support the beneficiary and his dependents, and held that the trial court's order directing appellant to pay the portion of these benefits as child support or be held in contempt did not undermine a substantial federal interest, which is obviously garbage. Held a state court has jurisdiction to hold a disabled veteran in contempt for failing to pay child support, even if veterans' only means of satisfying this obligation is to utilize veterans' benefits received as compensation for a service-connected disability. The Tennessee statute, as construed by the courts to authorize an award of disability benefits as child support, is not preempted under the Supremacy Clause of Article 4, since it does not conflict with federal law, which is what you're arguing, if I am not mistaken.
So at the time, Section 211 was the paragraph of the federal law that controlled jurisdiction on veteran benefits. And Section 211 said that decisions by the administrator could not be reviewed, are final and conclusive, and cannot be reviewed by any other official or by any court of the United States.
Keyword is up.
Here's that section
right there.
Right
That's
here.
what I sent you, Steve. Now this is important for the viewers.
This is very important.
Very important for the viewers.
When the Supreme Court was looking at this case, they went out into the woods and found one federal register with one Senate report that said, veteran benefits provided for the veteran and their families. Now, that one expression, and their families, that's a one reference, one taken out of context reference saying, and their families. When you go back to 1883, when the first veteran benefits were introduced by Congress, it said exclusively for the veteran, not for the veteran and whoever gets to get a payment out of it. The states have never been listed as beneficiaries. The former spouse has never been listed as a beneficiary of Title 38. And even children, if the veteran has the money, the children are going to benefit from that because the veteran's going to spend that money on them. There is no point where the federal government has ever said that states have control of veteran benefits. You might find this interesting in there, but you look in this case and they said that they're going to find an imaginary and implied exception to 3101, which was the statute that said they can't garnish the benefits, they can't assign the benefits, they can't give them away by any legal or equitable process. And they said, well, that applies to regular creditors, but it doesn't apply to child support claims. And when they looked at this, they said, we're going to find an exception to this until Congress makes it clear that state jurisdiction is preempted. Preempt is a fancy word that means it's exempt from something before you look at it. Yeah. So what Congress did by the Veterans Judicial Review Act was change the exact words of Section 211, the first part, in a way that's exactly corresponds exclusively to Rose versus Rose, and no other court ruling and no other history of law. They put in there, the administrator shall decide all questions of law and fact that affect the provision of benefits to any veteran, dependent, or survivor of the veteran. So if there's a question about how those benefits are split between them, it belongs to the administrator. Right. In 1991,
let's pull that up real quick. General administrative provisions, is that where it is?
Section 511. So you go into Part A or Part 1.
Oh, Section 511.
Part 1, Steve.
Back. So you have to go back. Part 1.
It'll
back 1
by any court. So 211 when it became 18 months later, it got switched to 511. Okay.
Nope.
By Congress. So
nope.
No.
That is a misnomer. That is misinformation that's been put out by several people. Please understand, the work we've done has been very detailed in finding where these bumps happened. Okay. The Veterans Judicial Review Act was passed in November of 1988, and it changed Section 211. Section 211 was also changed to 511, but that change did not become effective until September 1st of 1991. So 1988, 1989, 1990, Section 211 said said that the administrator shall decide all questions of law and fact. Then
Look at this. Section 211 is not even there.
yes, it's gone. Section 211 was repealed and replaced by Section 511. So in 1988, Section 211 was repealed and replaced by Section 211 updated.
Ah,
Do you get that?
That would have been for FY 89. So
Yeah. So it's
89,
not,
90, and then 91.
it's not in the current law as Section 211. Section 211 was renumbered as 511 when the VA was turned into a department level executive branch with a cabinet member as the secretary. And that did not happen until 1991. So between the Veterans Judicial Review Act and 1991, Section 211 said decisions shall not cannot be reviewed by any other official or by any court. They took out the words of the United States. So when Congress repealed Section 211 and replaced Section 211 with the amended version made it clear there is no possibility that states would have jurisdiction because states have never been supposed to have jurisdiction. Look at it. And
There it is right there.
yeah.
So that what I sent you, Steve, that's highlighted, it shows 211 and 511. So
Right.
basically what Bob's saying is,
Congress fixed the
any court in
loopholes.
the United States is federal court. So states thought they had jurisdiction, basically. 511 said any court.
So what
Some
happened
things-
in the Rose decision is the Supreme Court actually ruled as it should have because it said, well, the state of Tennessee is
Right.
not a court of the United States.
Right. They
Even
did what
though
they were
may not
supposed to
agree
do.
with it. They did what they were supposed to do, and that's why
Sure.
Congress changed the language. And
In
well, at least one of the justices opined that it was for the veteran and his family, but
Right.
that's not the law. Just because the judge had an opinion,
Yeah, that's not a law. That is
And a lot of-
absolutely, it does
a lot
not
of
carry the
people
weight of
cling to
law.
that. A lot of people
So-
cling to that argument.
almost every veteran that's looking into this subject is going to ask the search engine of their choice, the AI of the choice, the armchair lawyer of their choice. Hey man, can veteran benefits be used for child support? Can child support come after my veteran benefits? That's the question
course.
asked. And I guarantee you, every single AI, every single search engine, well, I don't care what flavor you like, goes out there. All they do is they read the internet and they look for the most copies of one flavor of opinion, and then they condense that down and say, well, most people say this, because all those AIs do is look at what other people say. They don't.
you're correct.
actually
Yeah,
have
they're really
it.
fast at it too.
And so if you ask the question a little bit differently, like does a current positive law statute hold precedence over a court ruling or a past version or an old
Bob,
version of the same
Yeah.
statute?
Bob, would you like to play a game?
Oh, baby.
Thermonuclear war sounds more fun than thermonuclear war sounds more fun. Ask the question. Give me
Don't
the
like
question.
the Christmas tree. Don't do
Can I
it.
do that?
Don't do it.
Don't push the button. Don't push the
All right,
candy
so
colored
stand
button.
by. I just did this on I asked Grok, and it says yes, VA disability benefits can be used for child
Can be
support.
used.
Because that's
Okay.
that's the method they go
Yes.
to ask that question.
Now, Bob, ask the question. We'll do this live. What's the phrasing you were using?
I'm going to go ahead and throw it in the chat if you don't mind, and that way you can have it verbatim.
Comments, private chat, waiting, standing by.
Unfuck.
Let's play games, ladies and gentlemen. We'll do this live and see what happens.
Now, one of the main reasons we're talking about this on the show is veterans are getting literally thrown into the street, and their VA disability compensation,
or in jail in some cases,
is
I
being
was thrown
stolen
in jail.
from them.
Yeah.
And this is absolutely egregious, and it's happening on the regular, and nobody's doing anything about it. We
Brandon,
can't.
let's
get
be
any of
honest,
our
you were thrown in jail
lawmakers
because you're a
to do
dick.
shit.
True.
I mean, so we have to do it ourselves, and we have a whole panel of guys who have been crushed by the system fighting back.
Pop,
Okay.
here's quickly. Here's the other thing I want to for the viewers, because there's a lot of misinformation, and this judges cannot legislate from the bench. They are not
Correct.
law.
They often do.
Congress makes the law. So read the law for the viewers, because there's all this misinformation. Oh, well, the judge says it's okay.
That's not a law.
Wrong. That's wrong. So that's
So
a big thing.
here's a way of putting it. If you look at Article 6 of the Constitution, does it say that random court rulings pulled out of the ear of the available judge are the supreme law of the land? Or does it say this Constitution and federal law pursuant to this Constitution and treaties of the United States or which are in place or shall be made are the supreme law of the land, and judges in every state are bound thereby,
Right.
notwithstanding anything in
That's
a
the oath
state
they take, too.
constitution or law? Well,
I
gee
will-
whiz.
I will
Is-
throw the
is
legal
the
element
law
there. Go
written
ahead,
by
finish up.
Congress?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the law written by Congress the supreme law of the land, or fairy tales?
I will throw the legal definition there as well. Everybody thinks a judge is there to make a decision, this, that, and the other. And that is true in a sense. What a judge is there to do is to examine the facts. If you have two parties or more, the
Yes.
facts presented by each party, and then hold them up to the applicable laws
Yes.
and make a determination as to what the decision should be. If you've got a murder case, you hold it up to the laws against murder. This guy commit murder? Does it fit that? Yes or no? Did this guy commit fraud? Here's the evidence. Hold it up to the laws. Does that fit the definition? Yes or no? The judge is not there to make things up as he goes along, but that's what they often do. And that's all that they do in family court. Now, let's play this game, Bob. Let's hit the button and say, does a current positive law statute hold precedent over a court ruling on an older version of the same statute? Good question. This goes straight to the relationship between statutes and case law. Here's the breakdown. Statutes, positive law, when a legislature enacts or amends a statute that is the governing law from the date it takes effect forward. Courts must apply the statute as written unless it is unconstitutional. Court rulings.
The Supreme Court ever ruled Section 211 or Section 511 unconstitutional?
Marbury versus Madison, no, it does not meet the test. The new statute for that, by the way, the new ruling for that, by the way, is Wilson versus Hawaii.
Hey, hold on. One person talk at a time, please.
Sorry. McCulloch versus Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Though limited in its power, when Congress acts on that power, that is the supreme law. I mean, this is a very strong point.
Yes.
Right.
That's
Anyways, so the answer on the screen here shows a good feedback. But this is the difference.
Zoom this in a little.
When we are searching the internet, we who are not attorneys, we veterans who are just in pain are going to ask, what the hell do I do? And the internet is going to look at or the search engine is going to look at the websites published by lawyers. Lawyers are not going to throw each other under the bus, because admitting fault means losing their paychecks, and throwing their colleagues under the bus means getting burned out of the legal community. They're not going to help us. Judges are not going to admit 30 years of profiteering and helping their lawyers make money. And the state itself is going to hide behind 11th Amendment immunity. So we know we can't sue the state in the federal court, but we can sue them in the state court. Look at Torres versus Texas.
Yep.
So, in looking at this, when Congress changed Section 211, before it became 511, when they changed 211, they removed of the United States. They made it clear that the administrator had exclusive jurisdiction on every question of law or fact. Now it says the secretary has exclusive jurisdiction on every law or fact, and these decisions may not be reviewed by any other official or by any court. The only thing that is exceptional from this is appeals that go to the Court of Appeals for Veteran Claims, appeals of housing or insurance decisions, claims for life insurance when a veteran dies, or claims under the education provisions of the VA. There is no section there that says divorce, alimony, and child support. There is no exception to allow states the power to interfere with veteran benefits. And a big part of this, it says all law and fact.
Yeah.
That includes the fact of disability established by VA decision. So if the VA is putting out benefits based on disability, the fact of disability is exempt from state jurisdiction. It belongs exclusively to the secretary. That's a private conversation between the veteran and the federal government by way of the secretary.
Yeah.
Nobody has jurisdiction to ask about what your benefits are or what your disabilities are.
Don't talk to them about it.
Well, of course not. But
Frankly,
the thing is,
don't talk to them about it.
Corner veterans into signing a release of information, giving them access to their records.
Not a lawful order.
Nate,
Fuck off.
you're nodding your head. Did they threaten you with that? And they use our children.
Hang on, I muted Nate because
get
he's
that.
got like that noise in the background. Hang on, he wants to talk. All right, Nate. Hang on a minute.
To it, but I pretty much did, right? So I was given a stack of information, a stack of paper, and wanted me to disclose everything because if I didn't, I knew she was going to anyway. So I had to disclose all my income. They wanted me to sign HIPAA forms, which, I mean, go ahead. I don't really give a shit at this point. You know what I mean? I'm just ready to see my kid and I'll do whatever. You know, I was pretty much backed into a corner to play their game, and now I'm not playing their game. Like, yeah, I'm cool with them, but that's for self-preservation, right? Like, I can't go in there and just start thrashing them as bad as I want to, knowing the laws and rules as far as them garnishing my federal funds, because that's illegal.
Okay,
But
I'm going to stop you real quick, Nate. With the HIPAA stuff, when they're trying to get you to sign off on that stuff there, they're committing a federal crime, and you should take that to the FBI. And I'm not even remotely kidding.
Multiple federal crimes, and one of them in violation of Section 511.
Wow.
The difference between, let's say, a violation of the HIPAA law, you can get them in trouble for the HIPAA law because they're breaking that one. But you can't sue a judge for money over breaking HIPAA.
oh, you can't.
Violating Section 511 is violating federal preemption. And the difference is, if they have jurisdiction on a subject, they can break the law all day long in that subject. But when they go across the line of federal preemption into the federal area of veteran benefits, they violate 511. That's a violation of your rights established by 511 that say they have no jurisdiction to touch that. The judge has no immunity, no judicial immunity, when they have no possibility of jurisdiction. And that's the reason we're bringing this suit to the Supreme Court of the United States, because we need to ask, hey, is it pretty obvious that they are bound by the law that says they could not possibly touch veteran benefits any way, shape, or form, either way, whether it's violating the Former Spouses Act or violating the Veterans Judicial Review Act? And can they be sued for money? So that's the questions we're putting to the table. These are the questions we need to come up from every veteran, from every jurisdiction. And we need to roast. We need to get some attorneys in trouble. We need to get some judges in hot water. And big time, any member of the Child Support Enforcement Office who's participated in your case, a prosecutor, or I've had several of those who come in there and say, oh, well, no, that belongs to us. your benefits go to the state because whatever, you have child support, you have welfare, you got whatever in there. Any of those child support officials, those are the guys we're trying to put out of business. The lawyers and the child support officials. We're not trying to burn all the judges to the ground. They are not the heart of the problem. The lawyers.
Stand by, Bob. Stand by. I want to see all the judges get burned to the fucking ground. Just to be honest.
The ones who are doing this systematically, yes.
Can I interject here for just a second here?
Go down.
Kind of related to Nate's case. The other gentleman that filed a case, his is also set for conference the same day as mine, is Derek Skelchuk. He's not a retiree, but he's 100% P&T. And his judge last year in Fort Collins, Colorado, ordered him in open court to disclose his disabilities, what his medications were, and all kinds of garbage like that. And we ordered the transcripts, and some of the stuff that he told us right after he walked out of the courtroom was not in the transcripts. And
that happens all the time. That's why they don't want you to record.
That's why they don't want cameras in the courtroom.
That's correct.
See, Pop, perfect. Yes, they don't want you recording in there.
So
No.
there's
For that very reason.
set for conference the same day as mine.
That's what I ended up. That's what I ended up doing, right? Because, I mean, I found just going through numerous reports, right? I had CPS on my ass for no reason, right? They're at my house like 2 times a month. I didn't even have my kids. And I looked at the lady one day and I was like, did you even read the report? She gives me this deer in the headlights look, right?
No.
I was like, it's 23 pages. I threw it at her. I was like, there's so many inconsistencies here. There's inconsistencies between the police reports. I even spent $500 out of my own money to get a 6-hour transcript.
Oh.
And I went through and I highlighted every freaking inconsistency between all these reports.
Yep.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yep.
And
Why do we have to pay for our transcripts?
because
Exactly.
it's done through a third party, which also goes
Another
back
show.
to the county.
That's another show.
It is another
Object is
show,
to
but
make-
the short answer is to discourage you. Now, there's been a couple of terms thrown around that I want to clarify. People ascribe it to the sovereign citizen movement, which I think is a honey trap and a red herring. I think it's a bunch of nonsense. But one thing is true, and it is demonstrable, and it is written right into federal law and the Constitution. We hear a lot about the state court and the federal court and state jurisdiction and court jurisdiction and everything. Okay, there are 3 United States of America. Okay, there is the corporate federal entity, which parades itself around as the United States of America in courts. There are each of the individual states, all 50 of them. They comprise, of course, the United States. And then there is the whole, which is represented in overseas matters for diplomatic stuff. So when you hear not a state court or any court or that kind of thing, it's one of those 3 entities. Well, it's one of the 2, typically. It's either the federal corporate entity or one of the states. Just to make that portion clear.
All right. I know this is a dry subject, but
It is dry.
It's very important.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's drier than Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Censor that out.
And even the men who are not, hang on.
Steve.
Even the guys out there who watch this show who are not veterans, you need to pay attention to what we're talking about,
Oh, yeah.
because we're arguing for a protection of our VA disability benefits. If you have not served in the military, every goddamn thing you own, all the money you make, all of your assets could be dragged into court, cut in half, and then she gets the other half based on I'm not happy, the 3 magic words that activate the Bermuda Triangle of the vagina. And I have seen whole careers, lives, children, cars, boats, houses, businesses get sucked into that shit and never seen again.
Wow.
Well, that's kind of what I was gonna say. I mean, you know, when it comes to this, like I heard you guys talk about on one of the podcasts, you know, and that's how I viewed it from the start. Is divorce is nothing more than a war, right?
Yes.
You got to be tactical. You got to be strategic. I
He's always
mean,
saying that.
it's exactly what it is. And that's kind of how I viewed it from the start. And that's why I think I only ended up as well as what I did at the end of this. Yeah, they're garnishing my pay, but I mean, when it was all said and done, I was able to present everything to the judge and she showed her true colors. That's what it was about, right? Like, it's not necessarily about keeping everything you own. It's about getting that judge to see who they're actually dealing with. The only way to do that is you got to fight fire with fire,
But
you
hang
know,
on,
but you
hang on.
got to be smart about it.
Stand by, Nate. So what they do is they basically drag you in there, take half your shit off the top,
Yep.
and they get the other half in alimony and child support.
Yep.
So I just did a video on this. They literally, like, you have 30 years of prime working years, roughly from 20 to 50, 60, somewhere in that range. And they are gouging the value that you produce during those prime earning years. They're literally siphoning it off, giving it to the state. Your ex gets a portion of that, and you are left living in functional poverty for the majority of your adult fucking life. And all you did was say the two words, "I do," and you're fucked. That's what that means.
$35 to get married, I think.
I want to show you guys something really quick. Pop and I did this.
Stuff, but okay.
Pop.
Yeah.
Put a sock in it. Pop and I did this back in 2009. Military guys will recognize this instantly, but take a close look at this. Is how it actually is. This is you down here.
The battle plan.
Okay, this is what family child custody battle looks like. That's you at the bottom there with family court and maybe a lawyer, and that's all the forces that are arrayed against you. We went through and looked at everything and figured it out, and that's really what it fucking looks like. It is a battlefield.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's that ugly.
And everyone involved in that, as soon as your wife says, "I'm not happy," and she says she wants a divorce, you need to understand she's no longer your wife. She is your fucking mortal enemy. And she should be treated with all of the rights and privileges that title conveys.
Yeah.
Correct.
Now, for like veterans and the viewers, like in family court, a lot of people are like, well, I'm going to get a good, it's going to be justified. I can go to court and I can get a lawyer, all this. Okay. There's no due process in family court.
Nope.
There's none. I was induced. They said, if you don't give up your compensation, you're going to be held in contempt of court. You're going to go to jail.
Yeah.
Honestly, at this point, knowing what I know now, I would have gone to jail.
Yes.
But I didn't know. I was green.
Right.
I was,
exactly.
I didn't know at the time. And that's what I'm saying for the viewers.
So
no
this is my jail. This is my jail story. I had my ex-wife in court every 22 to 25 days for almost two and a half years, 2 years. I'm trying to remember. And finally, it got to a point where I had been in front of the judge so many times that he's like, if I see you here again, I'm going to throw you in jail. And I'm really like, throw me in jail right now.
Okay.
Let's do this because I'm on active duty. The Army's going to come ask a whole bunch of questions. You're not going to have proper answers. All I want is more time with my children.
Right.
So let's do this. Throw me in jail. And I got what I wanted. I wanted 3 weekends a month, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I take them to school on Monday. But as I was walking out of the court, one of the sheriff deputies is like, hey, I wouldn't sweat that jail so much, man. You're a veteran. Fucking, you'd be working a mop bucket. They won't fuck with you. You'll be fine. And I was like, well, I'm glad to know that now. But I was literally like, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's just do the whole jail thing. Fuck off.
At this point, knowing what I know now, when it comes to stuff like that, my advice would be to call their bluff.
Yeah.
You might get a couple days, but I would call their bluff. Because what they're telling you to do is illegal. And then you do some jail time. And if we get these cases rolling through, if this starts to gain traction, then your jail time becomes evidence.
Yeah.
Well, In
Hey,
my
Steve,
case,
Steve, keep
back
going
in-
on. I have to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
in
You weak
2000,
bladdered squirrel nutted mother.
Don, I think Don's okay.
in 2020, I was unemployed again. I was on and off active duty, and I was applying for SSDI. So I stopped paying child support. I listened to somebody else, or alimony. My kids were already adults at the time. I stopped paying my alimony. Ex-wife immediately took me into court, and they got me into. Usually, you have to wait a long time. They got me in there in less than 3 months, and the judge threatened me with incarceration. I said, "Look, I'm a disabled veteran. I've applied for SSDI. I'm pending my hearing," and he said, "You either pay or you go to jail."
Okay.
So I ended up paying her off. I mean, he wasn't bluffing.
No, exactly.
He was gonna
And
put
that's-
me-
Exactly,
but I
Don.
couldn't risk that because I still had a security clearance. I couldn't risk going to jail. So,
Oh yeah, I had a security clearance too. That, yeah,
And
that's
I-
one
I
of the
just-
things I lost was my security clearance.
I just sent you something, Steve, a few minutes ago. What I typed up were the consequences of using VA disability for
Let
support.
me pop the hood on that. Do you want me to show that on the screen?
You can if you want, or I can just explain it.
Go for it.
Basically, what happens if a veteran is slapped with paying support when he or she is disabled, they have three choices. They either defy the court order and risk incarceration, mandating they pay their disability compensation so they can pay their bills, their rent, their mortgage, their utilities, whatever. Or they say, okay, the judge says I have to, so I have to. So they end up going to get another job.
Yeah.
And try and find employment to make up for the lost compensation. And when that occurs, especially in my case and many others, it exacerbates the already existing injuries that the VA has determined that the veterans have.
Right.
And when it happens, and I had an employer that I was like, hey man, I got a VA appointment. He says, man, I wouldn't have hired you if I'd have known you had VA appointments. They don't like that. So then you have to either satisfy the employer so you can keep the job that you have to stay above ground or stay above water, or you forego your appointments and wait several more months till one comes up that fits the right time.
What do
Yeah,
they
it's-
mean?
Get those.
What do you mean the employers don't like VA employments? You okay there, squirrel bladder?
Yeah, I'm
No.
fine.
No, they don't. The employers don't like it when you have to take off work to go to your VA appointments
Right.
because they need you there.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Brandon, Bob, and Don, you know the button pushing monkey. Nate, meet Jimmy, our button pushing monkey.
How we doing, gentlemen?
And so another issue with that is if the veteran winds up giving away all of his or her money, and I know Brandon's in a tight spot right now too. Sometimes they wind up homeless. Sleeping in a car underneath a bridge or whatever. The court's going to say, "Hey, you don't have a place to house the kids. I can't give you partial custody."
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
They just every way they can.
All right. Now on a side note, Kentucky has basically been enforcing 50-50 custody
Oh yeah.
from the get-go.
That's
And the divorce rates in that state have plummeted.
Is this real? Are you
Right there.
serious,
Yes.
Bob?
yeah,
Yes.
he's serious. That's real. That just happened. What last
I have
month?
a buddy down in Kentucky who confirmed it.
Stand by.
Really? I've never.
Hang on. So this is what's happening. The divorce rates plummeted downward. So if anyone out there thinks that, the women are the victim and the man is at fault because he couldn't keep her happy, it all boils down to the ungrateful, greedy, narcissistic fucking cunts out there. I gotta say that word again. Damn it! I gotta stop. I'm getting worked
Hey,
up.
see, Don, the Christmas tree has been lit.
I need another beer.
Complimentary of Pop. I tell you.
Oh my
I
God.
know.
I said that, Bob, what you just said
I
is
know.
exactly.
I know.
It's
been
true. It's
Yeah.
absolutely true. I got taken back to court. My ex
We're
tried
all
taking me
cash.
back to court for a show cause at the beginning of the month. I don't even have orders signed yet.
Yeah.
Like all she's trying to do is just keep getting money. Like $2,000's not enough for her.
Nate,
No, of
you need to
course not.
send me an email to redonkulas12gmail.com and I will send you a copy of Administrative Violence Divorce and Custody Edition free of charge, faggot.
And if
Much
you need any
appreciated.
of your stuff, if you need any of your stuff reviewed, send that along, and I'll give it a second set of eyeballs for you.
Okay.
Fuck yeah, bro. Listen, man, the dudes who watch this show have been broken by the system, and they don't have assets to fight back, but they have expertise and knowledge. And we literally formed a huge regiment of dudes willing to help you out.
Yeah, I've been reaching out to Brandon quite a bit, and you know, I got a good handle on it now. But man, when I first started, I didn't know where to go.
It's terrifying, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, hang on.
It was
This
fucking
is why I do
terrifying.
what I do. All right. There are so many dudes out there who are lost in the sauce, just getting creamed by the system, and they think they're the only one out there suffering this fate, and they kill themselves.
Yep.
Because they don't understand that they're not alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, I deliver this knowledge with a comedic spin to make it more palatable. But that's in a nutshell what I'm doing with this show.
Yeah, it's awesome. Here's another thing too, Don. You could probably, and I'll let you talk here, but there's a lot of women that are going through the same things we are. I'm serious about this. They're veterans too. They're going through the same thing, but they will not say nothing about it. Right. They will not speak up because
They're
there's
more
a
scared
stigma.
than we are. Their
I'm
suicide
sorry?
rate, they're more scared than we are.
There you
Yeah,
go.
but there's like 5 of them, dude.
Is 4 times the suicide rate per capita as the men.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. Wait, whoa.
I just wanted to throw
Bob,
that out there.
Hang on, Bob.
Whoa, hey, whoa.
Bob, you need to send us that statistic. I need that that in my arsenal. Redonkulas12gmail.com, Bob.
As soon as I get my email fixed.
Yeah.
If that's going on, we need to know about
guys.
it. No, I believe you. Hang on. We need to know about it because this is the first right now that I've heard of female veterans going through the same thing and not telling their stories.
There is.
This moment right now is time I've heard of it.
Yeah.
We have a veteran.
Hang on, Bob. Hang on.
But it's the first time I've heard it.
Metalgorf. We have too many people talking. So what were you saying? Steve, what were you saying?
I'm done. Bob, go.
Oh, he's done. Okay, Bob, it's your turn.
Okay. We have a female veteran from North Carolina who can't come home, hasn't been able to see her daughter since before COVID because the state of North Carolina, under the encouragement of somebody there, wants to put her in jail for a $400 something child support order against her. And she's a combat disabled veteran who has nothing but her VA benefits to live on, and her income from her husband, her new husband. But she's been through a really hard time because she basically hasn't been able to come and see her kid. She can't even come home to America.
Wow.
And she's from North Carolina.
Wow.
She's not like, somewhere else.
Now, the reason why I say that is because this is a huge statistic, Steve. It's out there. These women they're in the same boat. There's a lot of them.
A lot of female veterans.
Now here's what it is. They go after the fucking money.
All right.
Doesn't
Well, we
matter
want to know
if
about them.
you're female or you're male. They go after the money.
Well, here's the thing.
That's why.
Now that you've told us this, we can't fucking ignore it. This is fucking on like Donkey Kong.
No,
you can't.
No. I mean,
bad.
No.
Veterans?
I'm a veteran, and I'm all for the veterans, man. Fuck.
Every military and veteran family, whether it's male, female, or what they call a dual military family, where both of them are in the military, if they go through divorce, alimony, or child support, they're guaranteed to get hit by this embezzlement scheme, this Rose versus Rose up to Kazoo, the Title 4D, and women veterans are treated more aggressively
Yes.
than men. Women veterans suffer a lot more because of the pressure and the fact that they can't speak up.
Well,
Sure, they got domestic violence. They speak up about that. And I've seen a few who have done well, even playing the system like this. One of the guys that we've worked with came from a dual military family, and his ex-wife has her disability and is receiving benefits for the child, and still went after his VA and Social Security money to pay her extra,
yes.
even though she's already remarried and moved on. But they went after him because he's got retired pay, he's got CRSC like Brandon, and this situation happens. Just because we're veterans doesn't mean we're perfect, doesn't mean we're better than average, doesn't mean we're even smarter than average. But the fact is, because we have steady, like Don said, stable money coming from the federal government, every miserable, cockeyed, dirty, skirty attorney wants a piece of that action. Every state employee that knows about this thing wants a piece of that money. And yeah, the exes, oh, they're coached. They're greedy. Half of the time we go through divorce because we ran out of money because of the fact we're having problem with employment because of disability. So they just want more. It
Bob
escalates all over.
All right, Bob.
Bob, okay, so I believe what you guys are saying. Pop and I have been doing this for almost 2 decades now. This is the first we're hearing about the females. So if this is going on, we need to be able to reach out to them too. This isn't just strictly guys. If you're being screwed by the family courts, we will do what we can to help out. But this is literally the first time we've heard of this.
Yeah,
I would also say there's two dynamics, Don. I'll let you.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: there's 2 dynamics to it. There's probably incognito on this as viewers that are women crying right now, going, "Oh my God, wow, somebody's finally saying this." Nate, you're shaking your head because you know it's true.
Yeah, I do.
Here's the other thing: the state courts go after the fucking money. That's the bottom line. That's one. And then number 2, they use it against the women to go, "I dare you to say something. Wow, are you a bad mom?"
Yep.
You're a bad mom for joining the military and abandoning your family to some dumbass husband or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, they badmouth the women veterans pretty hard.
Badmouth them worse than the men. They treat them like
honest to God, this is the first time I've heard anything about this.
Yeah, listen.
Okay. So we want to know about this. Now you've pissed us off. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, now hang on. What are we going to find out if the Supreme Court answers your questions, or they just ignore it?
Yeah,
when they feel like it.
It is the Supreme Court.
It's going to be
they've got a full docket. They have a full docket.
Yeah, initially, just the fact that we're on the docket with a date for conference is a good step. As you know, most of the cases that are sent to the Supreme Court just get simply denied before they even get put on a conference. They have them, they're all screened as they come in, and it has to pass certain tests to be able to go to the next step. So we've made it to the next step. We're up for conference, which means they're going to look at it and talk about it and say, hey, is this one worth the effort? If they do, they may or may not ask the opposition to step in and make make a statement of some kind, a brief in opposition. If they do, we have to wait a little while. If they look at the questions and say, holy crap, you got good questions. Holy crap, this is tied to suicide. Holy crap, this is not just a little thing over. Then they might just decide on the merits right then and there. We don't know. They could rule in our favor, or they could tell us to piss off. Don't know. But the fact is, we've got there once. We can get there again, and we just need to bring them in from all over the country. That's why getting this language up to a level where you can use it, and every one of you can actually take your judge and your prosecutor and your support enforcement officer to federal court, have their underwear yanked up over the head on these questions. Other veterans have tried different ways. but this is the first time we've made progress on this language, this question. So I think we're in good shape. I think that you should read Don's case and read the background of law. McCulloch versus Maryland is an excellent reference, and it's not the only one. I did look at another one, but I haven't got it in front of me, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it.
So, Bob,
it's
we've
pretty
got
important.
10 minutes left here. We've got basically 10 minutes left here. So I want to take some time and go back over the case again. There's no reason that we can't do a continuation of this at a later time on another show. But I think this is important, and I want to bring this case back up. Here we go. Here's the original 3 questions. Don, give us a quick, dirty rundown on these, and then I want to move on to the cases that you cited.
Okay, so the first questions we're asking the Supreme Court justices whether or not the judges are bound by the USFSPA, which is the Former Spouses Protection Act, and as Bob has cleverly named it, the Gold Diggers Act, pursuant to Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. So in my case, and many cases like mine, and I think Brandon's is as well, the only thing that's divisible according to the USFSPA is disposable retired pay. So if you elect combat-related special compensation and you receive that in lieu of your retirement, there's nothing that's divisible. And in my case, they said that I must pay her the difference. In the case of Mike Yorko, Eric Martin, Bill Lott, many others, they say the same thing. The judges say you have to make it up from whatever source you can. But that's a violation of 10 U.S.C. Section 1408. So we're asking if the judges are bound to that, which they are. And then we're asking if the judges are bound by the Veterans Judicial Review Act that says that, like we discussed earlier, that the veteran benefits cannot be reviewed by any court.
Okay.
Section 511. Yeah.
Right. 511, which, as Bob explained, 211, the language was changed in 1988, and then in 1991, it became 511.
Yes.
So then we're asking
that's in the notes.
If the judges are personally liable for their violations of these, which is, and they should be, because it's a violation of federal law. Their federal preemption does apply in these cases.
All right.
And you ask a lot of people, there's 2 big attorneys out there. I'm not going to mention them here, but we all know who they are, that they make a lot of money off this, and they put a lot of propaganda on their websites, and you get the barracks lawyers or the C lawyers and the former spouses that will just Google, and they'll pull up one of these websites from these attorneys, and they'll say, yep, they say it can be used, and they consider that law.
So this is very short, swift, and sweet, this whole thing, Don. It's like, and Bob, you got 3 questions, basically. Mm-hmm. Can you do this, or this? Yes or no? Is that where we're at?
Yes.
Basically, are the judges bound by these laws?
Are they bound by it? Okay.
Congress set in stone.
No, this is a really, really, really smart way to do it, because SCOTUS potentially sees dozens and dozens of cases a day. And if you send them a novel, they're just not going to read it.
You got to
unless it has a really compelling entry.
And this one it's pretty short and sweet. It really is.
So tell us about the cases here. Let's your related cases. Winger versus Warren, that apparently is obviously you. Lott versus Lott, Miller versus Miller, and so on.
Okay, so Lott versus Lott. Bill Lott's case was actually pending conference yesterday. His, along with Jeremy Miller out of Tennessee. Their cases are similar, so we referenced those. And then the other 2 I referenced earlier, Mike Yorko and Eric Martin. Those 2, the certs were denied for those last October. Carson represented all 4 of these litigants here, and his Carson's cases are like, they're pretty long. His petitions are pretty long, and like you said, make them short and sweet. So
Yeah.
they got pretty close in Yorko and Martin, but they still didn't approve the search.
So one last time to really clarify here, you got this calendared with SCOTUS?
Oh,
And
he's
what
on.
calendared means is at one point, SCOTUS is going to see this. This is going to go in front of the Supreme Court justices. That's what calendared means. Now, from that point, they make their decision. And that's the big moment. That's what we're waiting on.
Yeah, I was trying to research this, and Bob might know a little bit better, and of course, Steve, you probably know better as well. It's like the two, Lott and Miller were set for conference yesterday. Mine is coming up on the 10th, mine and Derek's. And I'm still trying to figure out what that means. I think 4 of the 9 justices have to agree to move it forward.
Yes.
And then
That's correct.
They decide if they're going to actually hear it.
Right. It goes through basically what amounts to a selection process. You'll have to go through their clerks, which got you to the calendar. So you've crossed the first gate.
Yeah.
And now 4 of them have to decide that this is something we should look at.
Right.
So there are basically 4 gates. There's the clerk, there's that first review, there's a second review. Where the 4 of them approve it, it goes before, I think it's 7 of them. And they go, okay, we're going to decide on this. And then they do the actual decision. I think that's the full process, as I understand it.
Okay.
And then once they make the decision, there you go. You've got a decision made by SCOTUS.
Right.
All right.
Because they have so many cases, they have to do it that way.
Yeah. Now, when we talked about 211, 511, and the Rose case and everything, Bob, I encourage all the viewers, Pop, this is huge. I encourage all the viewers to go to Bob's page, his veteranshope.org. Look at it's everything. He has everything there waiting for you. He's done an amazing job with this. And everything that we brought up today, it's in there. Just go to his website. I don't know if is it being revamped or
it is.
Okay. All right.
I'm adding more sections on the specifics of this, and I'm simplifying some of the explanations because some of them are just too long.
Yeah.
I got a 404.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have 404?
The page wouldn't load.
Yeah. Portions of the site are already in place, but the homepage is under construction right now, and it should be posted in the next day or 2.
I did post the link in by the live chat and in the chat within here, so everybody should be able to access it.
Good. Yeah.
All righty. And we're at that time, gentlemen. So, Jimmy, we need the super chats pulled up. I know there's not that many tonight because it's a dry subject, but let's roll through this.
Oh, yeah. Nate, welcome to Redonkulas Super Chats. Prepare for weird shit.
I'm down.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off right now.
Do
Bob,
it!
Don, and Brandon, you've this is a new one. You haven't seen this one yet.
This is a new one.
I hope you enjoy.
That's right, baby. You know what time it is. It's super chat time. Time to get super funky.
All right.
That's Billy Von Baum, man. The guy is so disturbing.
Yep. And you guys will have to be sure to tune in for the show next month for our Halloween episode.
Oh God, yeah, we've got a Halloween episode.
Be a good one.
It's gonna be fun.
I'll put it to you this way: Pop's going to be in an Elvis costume.
God damn it! Yeah.
It's gonna be great. Let's see. We'll start over here on the YouTube side. 299 viewers, 277 likes. That's a good ratio there. So no Hillary for YouTube tonight. Rumble, I'll be watching you. Let's see. And the first one comes from Sean St. George, 499. Says family court is a family affair between judges and family court practices.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's an accurate statement.
Yep. Rage Gamer T1000 here with $2 says, "Keep up the good fight, fellas."
No, we're trying. We're trying.
We're trying.
Mario Trujillo here with $5 says, "If the judges, lawyers, and desk jockeys got exposed, the e-chair would be mercy. Just imagine what would happen to them in jail. Stay strong, gents."
Oh, I'm all about putting him in Gen Pop.
Oh, here's the thing.
Yeah. Put him in Gen Pop.
Listen, so many men have been divorced that if they actually decided, all the men decided to file federal lawsuits against their, the counties or cities that presided over their divorce, it would crush the system.
Yeah.
And they could not fucking ignore it.
Yep. Let's see. Moving on here, we got Joseph Mankus here with $20. Says, "I knew things were bad. What's the difference between a communist stealing your income and today? I'm surprised you weren't sent to a re-education camp."
That's the difference. In communism, they send you to the camp. In here, they just fuck you in the ass.
Yeah. I had an idea. We should put brass plaques on the door of every family court that say "No drinks, no reach-arounds."
Yep. And I highly advise everyone to wear a wire when they go into court.
Yes.
And record everything and then compare it to the actual transcripts.
Yep.
Because if they're modifying transcripts, that's a big no.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All righty. Rumble, how you doing over there? 302 viewers. I did a quick refresh. It's thinking about it, but there's only 146.
Just rip the Band-Aid off, Jimmy.
Do it, Jimmy.
Oh, Nate, I apologize for this. Get the eye bleach.
You've been so bad.
That's Buddy Tit Hillary.
Nate looks a little queasy. Rumble always ends up punished because they don't hit the like button enough times. We've got a 50% like ratio that we like to see, and I'm punished.
And I'm sure Alucard's somewhere in the chat waiting to pounce. God, can't wait for that.
I think tonight, unfortunately, Alucard, we're going to have to not, because we're trying to keep it. We want to use this for later, for some specific things.
Yeah.
So we're trying to keep the graphic level down a hair. We love you, man.
Oh, there it is. Yep, there it is. Yeah.
I know.
Oh boy. All right, let's see here. Starting off here, we got Mando here says, "Jimmy, let's start this shard off right. Bolshevik, Bolshevik, Bolshevik. Push the button."
There we go.
Where's he at? He has been summoned. Got to scroll up for him. Where's he at? God damn it. There he is.
Bolsheviks.
No, don't say it. Bolsheviks. No, please stop.
Bolsheviks.
It's showtime. Bolsheviks, baby. Everyone drink.
All right.
Brief history there, Nate. I started using the word Bolshevik to describe the Democrat Party some time ago, and it stuck, and somebody turned it into a drinking game in one of the chats. So every time I say Bolsheviks, everybody drinks.
Okay, that's how it works. Fair enough.
Nate's obliging. Excellent.
Awesome. Next one we got N2 Gas here says, "Nate, have a look into getting a 529 Able savings account. It means protected account."
Yeah, I have never thought of that.
Yep, something to look
Yeah, that
into
came
there.
from Kelly, one of our guys. That came from one of the regiment.
Nice. Let's see. Tomahawk here with $10 says, trying so hard not to Fed post. Wish these guys the best in their fight. Fed post, redacted.
Yeah. Fuck them. I keep saying the F word. Oh, my God.
What did I just say, Pop? What did I just say?
We didn't go into blasting the people we were going to anyway. We'll have to save that for another time.
Yeah,
we should do. We'll do a blasting episode just so we can vent. Because there is some venting that needs to be done. We will do a blasting episode.
I get we'll have to strategically do that one, Steve.
Yeah.
All right. Next one here Next one here comes from Joseph B. 1981 with $10. Says, sometimes I regret not having a family, but not when I listen to information like this. Stay strong, gentlemen.
Yeah. Listen, man, in the environment that exists today, I cannot recommend any man get fucking married or serve our country until this whole thing is fucking fixed. I mean, men are treated like shit. We're labeled as like toxic, and we're all like just evil. It doesn't matter what color you are. I'm sorry. I literally can't recommend anyone, know.
It's finding a girlfriend that's freaking legit.
If the former spouse protection act went away, the divorce rate in the military would go way down because either fewer people would get married or more people would stay married saying, okay, there's nothing to gain.
Yeah. Narcissistic, greedy cunts.
Yep.
Basic training day one. This actually happened. The drill sergeant said, "You will note that there is no wife in your duffel bag. If the Army wanted you to be married, there would be a wife in your duffel bag."
They would issue you one.
Yeah,
they would issue.
That actually happened.
Next one, Jimmy.
Let's see. Jackal the Emperor coming in. What's up, Jackal? He says, "What's up, Pringle Can Crapper Grunt, Combat Short Stack, and Oppression Party Retaliators? The corrupt cunt cabal is panicking, and the rebellion it's facing, as they say in Tron, resist."
And all we're doing is walking away, and they're starting to notice now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I've found a lot of videos lately of girls going, "What happened to all the men? Why don't they love us anymore?"
Yep. Fuck them.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see. Susan McCarley here with $5 says, "Jimmy." Yep, I'm here tonight. I am always here. I am late to the party, but I always show up. Let's see. Jackal coming back. Jackal coming back says, "Pop, horned honored guests. Rest assured that the fight is just heating up. Young little shits like me are here to back up the first sergeant in this war on all things good. We are nowhere near down and out."
Thank you.
Outstanding.
Yep. Jackal, he is a young whippersnapper, but
come on, baby.
He's a smart one.
I said this some weeks ago. My 16-year-old nephew came up to stay with me for a week in the summertime, gets in the car, and the first thing he does is start talking all of this red pill shit. And he says all of his friends are that way now, too. The liberals don't realize what they've done. This is a kid. His dad drives a Maserati, okay? All of the young, rich, white kids feel disaffected and like they have nowhere to go, and they're mad. They're really mad. They're mad enough to the point right now that they're all seriously thinking about putting on Hugo Boss suits. Okay, that's where we are right. That's where we are right now. I'm not kidding. This 16 years old. He's like, just went off. I'm like, whoa. Alrighty then.
Nice.
Next one, Jimmy.
Professor Blake Pooh-Ass Blaster 3000, one of our favorite screen names here, says, "I just want to say these laws are messed up for men and men now and days." And Pop, a question: do you ever change your toupee asking for a friend?
This is actually this is my real hair, man. But that's a good burn. I dye it every 21 days or so.
It's the same. Oh, that's great.
And he's also asking for a singing captain, so here you go.
We did have a request for singing Pop. You guys are jackasses. Always want to watch the same shit over and over again. Pick new videos.
Look at me, I wanna be the captain of the sea.
About time.
The poop that came from me, I'd rather steer us to debauchery.
Careful what you ask for, video guy. Careful what you ask for.
I will back up Pop because he's basically like my brother and say that is his real hair, but then I'm going to throw him under the bus and say he does style it and dye it like a girl.
You're not wrong.
Yay.
I'm not lying.
Let's see. Hooliganism with $5 says tonight's panel of guys makes my favorite show. Welcome, Nate. Hell yeah. Always welcome. Come on, brother. And oh god, there it is. Alucard, as much as we love you, bro, no homo.
Not tonight, man.
not tonight. Tonight is not the time, but I will be sure to save that one for later because that is
we could probably use it on Thursday.
That is
okay.
That is disgusting, my guy. I will be sure to let me copy and paste it.
Alucard has a rare talent.
Yes.
There we go. All right,
boy.
we will.
See?
I will
showing
save
up.
that. And
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Hello,
She showed
Mrs.
up.
Brandon.
I was waiting.
Hello.
I was waiting to see how long it'd take for her to pop in.
All right. Keep
Oh, no.
going. Next one.
Keep going, man.
All right.
here's another one that I'm going to save for Thursday. 68 Barracuda. Thank you for that. Is oh god, that was making me want to vomit, man. That's bad.
It gets
bad.
ugly. Nate, it's not that we're sparing you in particular. We just want to keep this particular show relatively clean.
Yeah, I was informed by Brandon. We're going to try and keep it very politically correct and censored tonight.
For this one,
So-
yeah, we'll
This
do.
one
We'll
is gonna
do.
be repackaged and sent to other veterans. And
Somewhat PG.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll do a launch episode later.
Yeah. Let's just say a couple guys in our Rumble audience, they like to there's been a challenge thrown a while back to make pop puke.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're coming
They've
after me
come
'cause
close.
my TBI After Effects. I have no filter anymore.
They're pretty good at it too because they've almost made me puke a few times.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next one here is from Tantalum 180 says 50%. Your expectations are at single mom thought levels. Most of the viewers are likely not even registered, and the sick bastards love that shit. Knife hand for the unregistered.
There you go.
Hey, a boy can dream. Carry on.
Yep. Let's see. Pirate Snake 69 says just because of Pops, fuck 'em, lol. Yep. Let's see. Alucard. Okay, this one's okay. So he's wanting. Pop's girlfriend is asking for a show from Pop.
Oh, here we go. Disturbing.
Absolutely. Let's see. Looks like last one here on Rumbles comes from International House of Whoop Ass, one of my favorite screen names. Says, don't judges also get part of the wage garnishment added to either their income or retirement? And that's why they put the hot poker in the guy's prison wallet.
You know what? I would like to actually find out if that's true. So if anyone out there can do the research and send us the information to redonkulas12 at gmail.com, that'd go a long way.
I don't think the judges actually get the income.
We're talking about the incentive program?
No, there's. I've heard this. Hang on. I've heard this rumor that judges get a certain percentage of what the garnishments that they do to get put into the retirement fund. I don't know if that's true or not. I want to find out if it is, because if that is the case, that is fucked up.
See, what I heard, and this makes a lot of sense, right? So I got a friend who's training to be a family attorney, right? And what happens is, though, if you notice, if there's a particular attorney that goes in front of a particular judge and they have a great win record, check that attorney's donation records to that judge.
Yep.
Well, Bob, but I think, Bob, you can answer this because somebody just asked if the judges are incentivized, well, basically by Title 4D. And my understanding is it does go into their pensions.
As far as I know, it does not go into their pensions. As far as I know, the Title 4D collection system goes to a split between the state Social and Health Services Administration because they get direct federal funding for every dollar they spend on welfare, but the money they collect under Title 4D is split. Half of it goes into the state health and welfare services thing, and about 25%-ish goes into the Office of Child Support Enforcement. From that bucket of money, the Office of Child Support Enforcement pays out their bonuses, pays out their bribes to other department areas. So it can be applied to different areas. Here in Washington State, a large part of the money that comes into the Washington Department of Veterans Affairs to help veterans get services to file their VA claims and things. The department, the Division of Child Support pays the Veterans Department to leverage access to the records that the state Veterans Agency has on where we are, who we are, what our names are, and what our disabilities are, because it's another way that they use to stalk us and hunt us down. Remember, Title 4D includes the Parent Locator, which is a federal program to cross states to hunt down men and punish them for having children on welfare. But I don't think it goes directly into judges' pockets, but I do think that it goes into the general fund of the state, which
the retirement.
I was researching this particularly for the state of Michigan. I talked to Brandon about it, last week.
Yeah.
Michigan got like $750 million plus in just its past fiscal based on Title 4D for child support. Yeah. Now, what I read is it gets split between the 83 counties here in the state.
Yeah.
All right, stand by. We're going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, we are.
Let's do this.
Different ones probably do it different ways. So I cannot say that it goes directly into judges' paychecks, but they won't abide by the Constitution because they don't want to admit a lack of jurisdiction, because that would mean that they're exposing all of the state to liability for embezzling federal funds.
All right, next one, Jimmy.
Let's circle back to this one. That a judge's episode would be good. Carry on, Jimmy.
There you go. Let's see. Not Handsome Jack says, I think the guys need an intro to the Disco Dwarf.
Disco Dwarf.
Right, spin around. Disco Dwarf, don't mess around. Snap your fingers, clap your hand. I'm the funkiest dude in all the land. He's a Disco Dwarf, you know his name. Bringing funky colors to the Hall of Fame. In a tie-dye suit, watch the people stare. When the Disco Dwarf boogie's everywhere. Disco, disco, disco Dwarf.
God damn.
Hey, Nancy's looking pretty good there.
Big old whopper, baby.
I wouldn't hit that with Epstein's stick. What?
Oh shit!
Oh come on, Dwarf! You and Nance have your own talk or your own.
I literally married the captain of the cheerleading team. I'm good, man.
All right, next one.
Let's see. Tomahawk here says you need to do an entire stream called "The Poetry of Alucard."
Ooh, that would be violent.
That would be
really, really violent.
That would be vile. Let's see. Professor Blake coming back says, "Hey Pop, I found your long lost brother from the Lord of the Rings, and his name is Schmeagol. Oh yeah, tell Battle Dwarf his name is Diabetes Dwarf.
All right. Dwarfabetus. We already settled that.
There you go. So let's see. We got 68 Barracuda coming back. Says, I got to head out and shoot some MiG-15s. Have a good night, gents. It's time for Prime to take a bite out of McGruff. Cue up One-Eyed Wonder Worm for the Thursday, you MiG-15s.
All righty.
Barracuda had a chat we couldn't read on that one.
Yeah. Let's see. International House Whoop-Ass come back, says, oh, so Quadisha gets and Tyrone some of that too, or is it straight for vets only?
Well, we're just covering the vets now. If you're not a veteran, it's even worse for you.
Yep.
Can be. Yeah.
And last one here on Rumble here, it looks like. I'm sure there'll be some sneaky bastards later. But last of the boomers here with $2 says, somebody tell Billy to stop making Pelosi look bangable.
I know.
Yeah, that is vile, dude.
Yeah, that is vile.
It is unsettling. It's very unsettling.
It is. But like I mentioned earlier, you and Nance have your own sitcom show.
Yay!
So, Nate, enjoy.
God.
In Bolsheviksville, where the sun shines bright, live Dwarf and Nance, what a charming sight. With Sandy the maid and Pop dropping by, and Hillary's antics that'll make you sigh. Oh, Dwarf and Nance, they've got it made, with laughter, love, and a living maid. From morning toast to an evening dance, it's always a hoot with Dwarf and Nance.
I'm
All
just
right.
saying, if that's an excellent show, I might be interested.
It actually looks plausible.
It does. It looked legit.
Look at Steve. He's been out feeding the chickens, man.
Hey,
Fuck off!
Jimmy, keep doing the super chats. I'll be right back. We're on 1 hour. I got to piss again.
Uh-oh.
Pop, you fucking squirrel bladder.
Squirrel bladder bastard. Alrighty, that's all right.
Keep
We
going,
had
Jimmy.
we had a couple more come in over on the YouTube side. First one from the Plains Warrior, $5.56. Good number. Says for the Redonkulas Range Day. Hell yeah, that needs to happen.
We're going to do that. I have a membership at an actual club here out in rural Michigan where it's all old guys, and basically the ranges are you show up and you are the range master. So if it's just you and whoever you're with, you just do whatever the hell you want, and it's kind of nice.
That's what I do out of my,
we're going to do a
back door.
That's cool.
What's that?
I said I do that out of my back door.
No, that's fine, but we have like actual ranges and skeet and high tower, low tower, trap, the whole 9 yards.
Oh man.
Come on down, man. Come on down. I'll take you.
All right. It's been a while
We'll
since
make
I
a
shot.
weekend of it. Grab Brandon. We'll run down to the club.
All right, we'll grab some shotguns from my house. Got plenty.
I may or may not have a shotgun or more. Maybe.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's
Carry on.
FMF veteran here dropping $10 says, you sure sound like you've been describing my ex.
I think that's all of us. I think
It is, sadly, it's a tale as old as time.
Yep.
I mean, come on. Even Helen of Troy was that nasty bitch ran off with some guy.
Yep.
Menelaus just wanted his
wrong.
bitch back, man.
Not wrong. You're not wrong.
Let's see. You got 68 Barracuda over on the Rumble side. I knew you guys would be sneaky bastards. It says, is the NATO designation for the MiG-15. You can read it.
No, that's true. And then the MiG-18 or 19 was the fish bed. And I used to know all of those.
Fishback, fish bed, the MiG.
Yeah, the MiG-15 was indeed the faggot. That's the NATO designation.
Yep.
I learned something new today.
We had to learn all of that stuff.
Yep.
Carry on.
Let's see. We got Not Handsome Jack coming back. Says Billy needs to make a pilot for Dwarf and Nance, even if it's just a few minutes.
Wow.
If he can keep it down to like just under, what is it on Rumble, like a minute 20, minute 30, we can use that, and we'll have a new opener for the Rumble side. Winning.
Just keep Nance and Sandy clothed, please.
Yes, please. Yes. Let's see here. All right. And it looks like, okay, we're going to do last call for super chats on the Rumble side. So if you're going to do them, put them in now or forever hold your peace. And Alucard's coming in, says the succubi and Kevin sitting in a tree. Yeah. Kevin stays away from the succubi. Trust me. He's told me all about them.
All right.
Yep. Kevin is my my night terror demon that I've been assigned to, and he's been pretty good dude. Good dude. I like him. Let's see. We'll jump over to the MGTOW side of things. I know things were kind of wonky with MGTOW today, but it seems like things kind of iron themselves out.
Actually, I got a text from Amr who runs MGTOW, and he's under DDoS attack. They've taken out 2 of his 3 servers.
Yeah.
So
that sucks.
Well, that's what you get when you are fighting the system, and the feminists out there hate your guts. I mean,
that guy does not give a fuck either. He just does not care.
Yeah.
No, he's a good dude. Yeah. Let's see. First one comes from Crazy Uncle here, $5. Says, I'm sure you listened to Petey's speech to the generals, and I can only hope he gets the changes done. Doubt it will aid in the enlistment ranks much, but I can hope. Also, in a few months, you'll hear people claim nothing changed. Just remember, it takes a while, especially in a group as big as the military.
So he did actually cover a lot of the stuff I talked about in my video to Hegseth.
Yep.
That we could do a whole show on that, frankly.
Yeah.
But when he said that everybody has to do PT and everybody has to take a PT test every 6 months and everybody has to weigh in every 6 months, that was just the Army when I was in. It was everybody. I mean, I took PT tests. I graded PT tests. I had officers in my line. The brigade officers hated me. The colonel and a couple of the majors hated me because they'd get in my line and I say I have one standard 21-20 because I wouldn't accept their little lizard push-ups that officers like to do. I would go 1, 1, 1, and they'd be like, God damn it, Sergeant!
That's right.
It was
I don't
crazy.
care. I don't
quickly. It was crazy being at Fort Drum.
Yeah.
Like being 431.
Mm-hmm.
We would do 2 30-mile ruck marches a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the standard at the 10th Mountain, man. That's the way
I
it
was second infantry.
Hang on.
Lurst
We can't get
in
down the
Korea.
road of Army stories. Let's get through the super chats.
Same shit. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah.
All right, we got Transformational Synergy over on the MGTOW for $10. Says, thanks, guys. Thank you.
All right.
And Crazy Uncle coming back with $5 says, define irony. Women used to bitch, men need to talk more. Now we can, thanks to the internet, and we get information like this show. Now women bitch about how men are not interested in marriage anymore. Another old phrase needs to hear. Be careful what you wish for. You just get it.
That's right.
That's it.
Yep. And me, myself, being a 35-year-old man, single, no kids, would I like to have a family and kids someday? Yeah. Is it worth it? No.
Not in the current environment. It's not worth the risk.
No, it's not.
Nope. All right. Looks like Blankets. He's got his one donation over there on the Odyssey side. He says he's asking, what do you think of this, Pop? Elon Musk is making Grokpedia.
Oh, I heard about that.
I don't even know what that is. What the fuck is it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
He's making his own Wikipedia using his Grok AI.
Yeah, Wikipedia is so fucked up now. It's
I do kind of wish that we wouldn't be using modern day Grok because, well, you will ask for a joke for, let's just say, Battle Dwarf, your post earlier today that got censored because it had hate speech in it.
I made a version of the Navy SEAL copy pasta, and if you don't know what that is, look up the Navy SEAL copy pasta. And I responded to somebody on Twitter using that old internet joke, and Twitter's algorithms dinged me for using hate speech.
It dinged you for a previous post because you were quoting or you were replying to someone about how you cleaned the barracks. I know the exact reason why that post got nuked because you said spick and span.
Oh, yes, spick and span. I used the word spick, and it decided that meant a Hispanic person rather than very clean.
Yeah, you're gonna have what's the fucking chick's name from Family Guy? The Mexican.
I don't care.
Consuela.
Carry on.
Consuela, yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
I don't care.
Consuela
Carry
come
on.
in through there. Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
I need to get rolling, guys.
All right, Bob.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for looking this thing up, and definitely give Don's case a read and let us know if you have any questions.
All right, man. Thank you.
Good to
I'll
see
get
you,
my
Bob.
email working within a couple of days here, and we'll move on.
All right,
Let
man.
us know. I'm
to
curious about
everybody
doing a
else
show
for
on
being
judges. So
Take it easy.
Yep.
Have a
See you,
good
Bob.
one.
Good night.
All right, next one.
Oh, let's see. We didn't get any lemons over on the D Live. How we doing over on the Twattersphere? We had 111 views
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
over there. Not too bad. Not too
Not
bad.
too bad. It's better than Twitch. Are you ready for Cash Apps?
Oh, let's see. We had one more guy coming over on the YouTube side. We had Brad come in with $10. Says, "Hope you guys covered YouTube getting bitfeeked by Trump." Pretty sure we'll cover that on a different stream. Wonder how many YouTube executives in 2022 thought they'd be paying for the White House ballroom in 2025.
Well, the thing is I'm disappointed that he took a settlement. I wanted to see him take it to court so all of the dirty laundry of YouTube could be exposed for the world to see.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
All right, Cash Apps it is.
Let's see. It looks like, yep, we are ready for Cash Apps. After hooliganism, Twerf, you found the correct mic.
All right. Susie McCarley, $30 for important show, guys. Thank you. We got one from Ronald Green for Fitty. He simply says thanks.
And we thank you, and we're not worthy.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
We got $10 from our female life save, Samantha Batchelor.
Thanks,
And
Sam.
for the hard work you do. Thank you so much.
I want to throw a shout out to Samantha. She has been really helping us organize the sponsorships and grants that we're trying to put forward. Thank you very much, Sam. I appreciate all your help.
And we got another one here from Shalanda Trudell for $50, saying for personalized note.
She's
Today-
cool.
Today at 6.
Thanks for your continued support.
Let me see if there's a personalized note here.
Stand by.
I don't see it.
Standing by.
I was gonna say I'm sure she would, but
I don't see a personalized note. I'm so sorry if it's not here.
It wasn't for you anyway, Brandon. It was for me.
All right, cool.
see,
I did see someone in the Rumble side that I need to take back the Hillary because we are over 50%. 266 viewers, 174 likes. You couldn't get to 200?
Ruh-roh.
Come on.
Here we go again.
Come on. All righty. Let me do one more quick run through of the super chats. Make sure we're not going to miss anything, but there may or may not be a sneaky bastard because there always is. Keep an eye out for them sneaky bastards. Doesn't look like we are missing anything. Just double checking.
All righty.
Making sure. Looks like, yep, we are all good here tonight. So, gentlemen, I think we're ready for final thoughts.
All right. Battle Dwarf, you lead off.
Ah, why me? Look, guys, we do this stuff for you guys. If you have any questions on any of this material, let us know. We will do our best to field responses to you. We get a lot of emails. We do. But we will try to respond to everything that we get as much as possible. Let's just keep going, man. Live out of spite. 570 lives saved confirmed so far. And those are just the ones that we know about. Live out of spite, man.
There you go. Alrighty, Mr. Don, your final thoughts for tonight.
Just want to say, I appreciate everybody. Appreciate you guys having me on. I appreciate everybody else that's tuned in. And if anybody's got any questions or anybody going through the same situation, or you know somebody else, reach out to me and or Bob or anybody here on the show, and they'll put you in contact with me. Like to help everybody and just nail these judges to the wall.
Hell yeah.
Hurrah.
Yep. Pop and the Battle Dwarf do have contact info for everybody here on the stream. Send them an email. Say, hey, I need to reach out. They'll get you in contact with the guys. Alrighty. Brandon. Final thoughts from you,
guys
good
so
sir.
much again. Beautiful platform. Thank you guys so much. It's any information. The flow is going to keep going. So just keep watching. We appreciate it. Thank you.
And Brandon, I could tell you're married because I could see the knick-knack paddywhack. Give your wife a bone cabinet behind you.
You were supposed to cover that up, but
I'm just fucking with you, man.
Is what it is, brother. Is what it is.
All right,
Great
Nate, you're
platform,
up.
man.
Alrighty. Nate, final thoughts from you, good sir.
All right, I just want to thank you guys for allowing me to come on the show today. That was awesome. Listened to you guys a few times, and I know I told Brandon this numerous times, and I stick to it. I'm going to die on this hill. Our veterans get treated really bad in the family court system, so I'm fighting right along with them, and I don't plan on stopping.
All right, and
Welcome to the
since you
club,
live up
brother.
there where I own
Welcome to the
land,
club.
perhaps we'll go shooting one day.
I'm down.
I was thinking, hey, Pop, I
Yeah.
was thinking that you and me and maybe Blake, if we can get him in, if we can get Brandon and Nate down before the weather rolls in, we could do a barbecue at my place, man. I've got plenty of room and I got a grill.
All right, well, we'll see what we can do.
See if we can swing something.
Awesome.
All right.
Sweet. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, you guys all know my final thoughts and spiel and whatnot because I got to do it. But then again, I got to fucking do this and do that. Come on, guys, jump on over to redonkulas.com. Get yourself some merch. The new Suck a Dick Finishing School for Modern Women merch is live. Get you a shirt, get you a hoodie, get you a long sleeve. It's all there. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, stay in the fight. Live out of motherfucking spite.
Yeah, baby.
All kinds of good gear out there. You pick it up, you purchase it, it comes to your door, you take a picture of it, post it up on social media, tag me, tag Pop, tag the Battle Dwarf, tag your friends, tag your dog in it, and all that good stuff. But Pop, safety briefing.
All right, First Sergeant Pop, retired safety briefing. All right, don't drink and drive, don't drink and swim. It's not going to work out for you. If you absolutely must fornicate, wear a condom, take it with you, or flush it down the toilet and watch it go all the way down. Why? Because women are sneaky bitches, and child support does last 18 to 21 years, depending upon the state you are in. Rack up, pack up, and stack up. There's safety in numbers, and we are now living in troubling times. And maintain your situational awareness, because if you're going to be attacked, something in the environment will have changed. It's up to you to see it. And last but not least, I'm sick and tired of throwing you sons of bitches into the dirt because you're taking a permanent solution to a temporary goddamn problem. Play the long game. You have no idea what tomorrow holds for you, and it could change on a dime. Stay in the fucking fight. And if all else fails, live at a motherfucking spite. And always remember, Uncle Pop is here cheering for you. For all of your victories, even the ones you can never tell anyone about. Boom, beer me.
And as always, gentlemen, keep an eye on your woman when she's doing the dishes, because your favorite shot glass can turn into a squirt glass in an instant. And that's disgusting, because we don't need washing the pussy in the sink.
Hey, now.
See, Don? Sideways, look at
Yeah.
Goes sideways
All right.
so fast around here.
Sideways so fast. But we'll see you guys on Thursday for all of the fun and entertainment.
Oh,
that you
yeah.
guys love
Thursday's
see.
going to be amusing this week. We've got some zingers.
There you
It's
go.
been
All right.
a banner week.
There you
Thanks for having
go.
us, guys. Thanks for
Ladies
having
and
us.
gentlemen, Redonkulas